I do not watch mainstream media, and a big part of this is because I don't have cable television. In fact, I find cable TV to be a total scam. I mean, if you think about it, the average American pays just over $200 a month to have these cable companies pipe in the cable to your living room, where we sit and we watch a never-ending string of commercials that are telling us how to feel and what to buy. So we're paying a second time now. We're paying with our wallets the first time, and the second time, we're paying with our eyeballs, and we're paying with our lifespan by sitting on this damn couch watching commercials on a never-ending roll. And then finally, we get to the point where we get to have our 3 minutes of cable news network television. Ooh-wee. Can't wait to see what kind of sentiment gathering, what kind of perspective getting we're going to get here, right?
2020 candidates have announced their fourth quarter fundraising hauls for 2019. President Trump's in the lead, with Sanders coming up second. Several candidates announcing their best hauls of the campaign cycle.
Whoa. Pause the video. Enhance that image.
The lead, with Sanders coming up second. Several candidates announcing their best hauls of the campaign cycle. Join us now for a look at the impact the latest numbers have on the 2020 race.
The man depicted as Andrew Yang in this graphic is actually Geoff Yang, a venture capitalist and a current sitting board member for AT&T. And Tulsi Gabbard over there? That's actually Kirsten Gillibrand, the Democratic senator from New York. When I first came across this, I got a pretty good laugh, right? Because I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, obviously this has to be some sort of mistake. Maybe it was some kind of contracting company that messed up, or a new intern. So I got a pretty good laugh. I got a pretty good laugh from some of the memes on Reddit and Twitter. It's kind of like all the Democratic candidates lined up, but all of them are completely wrong except for Yang and Tulsi Gabbard. CNBC, is this Andrew Yang? No explanation needed. We all know what's going on here. Poor Andrew Yang. Now again, I do not watch the mainstream media, so I just figured this could be chalked up to an incompetent graphic designer or something like that. But on the same day, it happened again, but this time on USA Today's Twitter feed. The tweet says, "We asked candidates their thoughts on immigration, gun violence, and climate change. Check out our guide to their positions on the biggest issues facing voters in 2020. As you can see, Andrew Yang is nowhere to be found in this graphic. Now, USA Today did post a follow-up tweet claiming that they accidentally used the wrong graphic. In this instance, I can see how that's possible, that a social media manager might, accidentally drag in the wrong image. I've done it before, mistakes do happen. And when you're tweeting 52 tweets every 5 hours, yeah, I can see where if you don't have good oversight happening, I can see where a mistake could happen, for sure. But that graphic has Mark Sanford on it, but not Andrew Yang. Mark Sanford, never even heard of the guy. Probably some governor, but he's on there. Yet you have people like Andrew Yang, who is getting a sizable base behind them now, who's at least qualifying for debates, and this pattern of behavior is being demonstrated time and time again, specifically around Yang, but also other candidates like Tulsi Gabbard as well. So I started researching this topic further because I wanted to find out. I'm like, is it just all incompetent social media managers, or is there something a little bit more nefarious at play here? And while I'm doing my research, I come across a Twitter thread by a guy named Scott Santons. Scott has done an amazing job of capturing and archiving dozens of cases where mainstream outlets have gone out of their way to cut Yang from their coverage. I'm going to list a few examples here, but there are plenty more on Scott's website, which I'll link in the video description below. Alright, here we go. On September 5th, 2019, MSNBC said they were going to showcase the candidates who'd be attending the upcoming debate. The broadcaster says there are 10 candidates, but only 9 are listed.
Will be debate singular. 10 candidates met the DNC's qualifying criteria.
The broadcaster says there are 10 candidates, but only 9 are listed. As you can see, Andrew Yang is nowhere to be found. On September 9th, MSNBC's The Beat gave us this gem.
GOP presidential race, and John Yang living his best life. Crowd surfing.
On October 3rd, 2019, CNN ran this graphic showing the candidates' third quarter fundraising earnings. Even though Yang raked in $10 million in fundraising, CNN didn't put him in the graphic. Instead, they chose to include Cory Booker. On November 17th, 2019, MSNBC showed the results of every candidate who polled above 0% in a Des Moines Register poll. There was no mention of Yang, who polled at 3%, but they were able to include Michael Bloomberg, who hadn't even officially announced his candidacy yet. On June 26, 2019, MSNBC ran the results of another poll. I mean, there was more than enough room to include Yang's results, but there's no mention of him anywhere. The graphic even looks like it's kind of out of place without that extra box. Yang is again excluded from graphics on June 29th and again on June 30th. On June 28, 2019, MSNBC's graphic is turned off at the very mention of Yang's name.
Other candidates, folks, you look again, who else is on that stage with the former vice president, with Bernie Sanders? Andrew Yang, Kristen, oh, my screen just went out.
On August 28, 2019, CNN excluded Yang from this graphic. Instead, they chose to include Beto O'Rourke, who wasn't even polling in the top 6. They later removed Beto, but continued to exclude Yang. And on January 12, 2020, MSNBC ran this headline claiming that Andrew Yang is a billionaire. Not only is he not a billionaire, he's not even close. According to Forbes, his net worth is less than $1 million, which is one of the lowest of all the candidates running. How is it possible that the lowest polling candidates got airtime? They got FaceTime on national television, they were included in the graphics, yet people like Andrew Yang, who have a sizable backing behind them, enough to qualify for these debates, he's still just getting completely and totally fucked. Time and again, mainstream media has censored political candidates from the national spotlight. In this case, it's obvious to me that MSNBC seems to have a vendetta against Yang, at the very least. I mean, come on. And despite the fact that he's grown a sizable backing, he's got supporters, he's qualifying for these for the debates, he's still getting shafted in the media. He's getting called the wrong name, replaced his picture with a different person completely, or excluded altogether. My bottom line is this: there is no binding resolution that holds the national media accountable to the American people. And for decades, many folks, many Americans got their news through cable television networks, right? They were told time and again that the most trusted name in news, no spin zone. I mean, they were fed this narrative to believe that the media did represent their best interests, that the media did have a responsibility to represent them. But the 24-hour news cycle and the economy of cable TV ratings, where they're constantly chasing that almighty dollar, has led us to this place where these corporations are seeking quantity over quality, and speed over accuracy, and agenda over facts. Just my little disclaimer here, I don't agree with Yang on a whole bunch of stuff, but there's a couple things that we can all agree on here. One is that the news media, these news organizations that are operating, these corporations that we're paying so much to with our eyeballs, with our time, with our wallets, they have a major trust issue on their hands. In fact, I would say it might even be beyond trust. I feel like the degradation has gone past that, and people are already on the point where they're just like, nah, I don't believe you. I think people are just fed up, And the second thing that we can all agree on, one unifying factor that everybody can get behind, is that Epstein didn't kill himself.